What's up, YouTube? So you guys wanted me to do a cigar review, and you guys wanted to know what the progress was going to be on my man cave or my cigar lounge, which you've already seen the video for. And if you haven't, make sure you check it out. This is Alex at the Honeydew List. I have a video that's going to be showing how I'm going to be doing a cigar. I don't know, some people call it a cigar lounge, some people call it a man cave. For me, it's going to be somewhere where I can just hang out, a couple buddies, and actually sit back, enjoy a good cigar, and relax. That's the whole point of the cigar lounge. But today is a special day because I have a guest here today, somebody that I know as Ricky. For me, his name is Ricky. For you guys, his name is Senpai Rick. Man, this is the gamer that really just shouted me out, man. You understand, things have changed so much ever since that, man. Thank you guys for following me. But this is the man that did it, my nephew. Like I said, you guys know him as Senpai Rick. I just know him as Ricky, right? But we're gonna hang out today with you guys, and my nephew and I are gonna enjoy a nice cigar. Yep. So for those of you who were asking about cigars, well, here's something. I'm going to be smoking a handmade Padron. If you guys don't know about them, Padron is a huge company. It's worldwide, known for many, many years to have some of the best cigars ever made. So I'm just going to kind of critique this a little bit. And Ricky?
For me, I'm going to be smoking a Cuban Bolivar. Since my blood runs through the Cuban family and the Cuban island itself, I decided to get myself a little Bolivar, one of my favorite, very sweet, very, light color leaf. So usually they run as a petite or very thin because since the flavor is usually like more of like an intense, it's something that's very amazing to go with coffee, or it's just like a great thing to smoke when you just want to relax.
Yeah,
this is a good occasion.
Yes, this is one of those good occasions.
More of a chill video of reviewing, so I don't want nothing too bitter.
Right.
So we want to enjoy this review, especially with this monster right here that's amazing.
Oh, guys, you don't understand. So the biggest reason why we're here today is we want to show you guys the review of the Audew, and this is a thermoelectric cigar humidor. So basically, it's a cabinet designed just to keep your cigars at the optimal level of humidity and heat that they should be. And for those of you who are getting into cigars, keep something in mind. Cigar humidity and heat, the ratio is like a science. If it's off, you can buy, if you're gonna get into like buying cigars that are $10, $15, $20 and more, you do not want to ruin those. I mean, $20 cigar and it's out the window. You know what I mean? Have you experienced that?
I have. When I first started, before, he's the one who actually introduced me into, before this was like a pre-release. I pre-ordered it because of his, his judgment. I had regular, wooden boxes where I just damped it with distilled water, and I had some cigars that I had to throw out because it got too dry.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
And
the worst thing. So that's a tip right there, guys. You don't want to have a cigar that's dry. If you ever buy a cigar and when you cut it, you can actually hear that leaf break, that's the cigar that's been kept in a bad environment. So today we are going to be smoking the cigar, and we're going to review this monster right here. Now, I know a little bit about it because it's pretty simple in a sense, but Ricky here, he's already been using it for about a month.
Yep.
So his thing is full of cigars, and they're all nice and fresh. I've had a couple already, and they're really, really good. So let's light up these cigars, and we'll talk about this.
All right, got my V cut.
Oh, that's another thing, guys. I'm telling you.
There's multiple ways.
There's multiple ways, right?
Yeah, you have my hole punch is somewhere lost in your house.
Let's see what's right there in that tray.
Oh, okay. So, now I actually found it because I lost it. So there's different methods of cutting a cigar. I brought all ways just in case for me to explain the video. You have the V cutting method. You zoom in most likely and recording it if you can, but this, very basically, right here you see the cut. It's a little V shaped, which gives you good airflow. You have, in the bottom part, I have a little hole punch, which also gives you a great flow. If you don't want to do that kind of style, You also have
Guillotine.
the guillotine. It's just a snip and takes the whole cap off.
Right.
So there's different ways of doing it. People find either the hole punch or V cutting a little more classier look to it to make it look more better, and it actually is a better smoke with either a V cut or a hole punch.
Yeah.
Guillotine is just usually for like last minute stuff, or if you just don't have the equipment with you. Guillotines are also still fine as well.
And let me tell you something. If you really have nothing on you, just do it old school style. Bite the cap off and smoke it. That's really the way it used to be done. But I'll be honest, guys. For me, if it's a larger cigar, sort of like this one here, I like to use the V cut. It's a good flow. It actually has a nice cut to it. I'll show you guys just a little close up of that. You can see. And I'm going to show you how the cigar looks after it. So I'll just cut it. Look at that. You can't beat that. That is beautiful. So the flow on that is going to be great.
So for me, I brought a backup cigar just in case of whatever. So this is how a cap will look like without, the hole punch. Now that I punched this, like the one I'm going to smoke right now, you can see that hole right there.
That hole right there.
And since that's a smooth circle, it will definitely be a smooth pull since this is a more petite cigar itself. Like he stated, the more, larger the cigar is, it was like more like a turbo, correct?
Yeah. So this one here is more of I guess Robusto,
there you go.
Style cigar.
Those go well with, like I said, a V cut. Anything that's in this shape or form, very thin, guillotined or hole punch is the best way to do this.
Now, if you see what I'm doing, I'm toasting the front of the cigar first before I even draw on it. And the reason for that is because I want an even flow. So once I actually start to pull on it, you don't want the cigar to burn, one direction. You want it to be even all the way through. It's where you get the best flavor out of the cigar. At the same time, you don't want to overdo it on torching it because you kind of ruin the flavor of the cigar. So I kind of just blow on it a little bit, get it a little toasted up, kind of go in circles with it a little bit, blow it. Wow. And this thing feels like there's no resistance to it. It's an amazing pull on this cigar.
Basically doing the same exact thing what he said. Toasting it around the corners. Be sure it's even. Once you start seeing once you start being equally embered, that red part, the orange or what color you see it as, once you start seeing it in that color.
Now guys, this is definitely a beginner thing for all of you that are interested in cigars. One thing I will tell you is do not inhale them. It's just not meant to be inhaled. These are, large amounts of tobacco. Enjoy the flavor of them. Pair them with different types of alcohol, like
Whiskey,
bourbon, whiskeys, coffee.
Yep.
Like in my experience, I particularly like a Connecticut with coffee. It's a lighter colored leaf. Usually a good morning smoke with a coffee, or even an afternoon smoke if you like to drink coffee in the afternoon. I particularly like to drink coffee any time of the day. As you can see, it's 8:30 at night, and or no, was it 8:30, 9 o'clock, and we're drinking coffee. But
mine's already in my system, so
you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
All right, guys. So let's get on with this review. Like I said, this is the Audew. Very, very nice cigar humidifier, or some people will call it a cabinet, whatever it is you want to call it. You go right ahead. But I want to show you guys that this has a glass front, so you can actually see inside of it, and that's after you press this little button right here, and it lights up. So the cabinet has a nice little light inside of it, and it keeps it, kind of like that. I don't want to say just mysterious look to it. It's a nice, elegant look.
Mm-hmm.
The light pops on, all
classy.
the lights. It's a little classy. But you can stick this in a cabinet somewhere in your house.
Like a wine cooler.
Yeah, or you can even put it on your countertop. It doesn't matter. Your office desk. It looks nice enough to be able to do that. The other thing is, right here you have it up and down buttons, and that is going to give you your temperatures. So, in terms of humidity, I particularly like to have my cigar sitting at about 69%. That's where I like them.
That's optimal.
Right, that's like the optimal environment. But I like for the heat of the thermoelectric cabinet, I like for that to be at about 70 to 72, which is a pretty good environment to have as well.
And then to basically piggyback what he was saying, for people who are beginners, just something that's the optimal settings it's supposed to be on. They're supposed cigars are supposed to be in an environment of between 66 to 74% of humidity, and for degree wise, it could be from 62 to potentially at least 76, depending on which leaves you get. So anything from the Caribbeans, so anything you get from the Dominican Republic, Cuban cigars. Puerto Rico may also sell cigars. May not say Puerto Rican cigars, but they also sell Dominican cigars in their climate as well. Those will be more the optimal of the 70 of both the humidity and for the percentage, humidity and for the temperature. And except depending if you get it within the states, the high 60 should be fine.
Yeah, that's a good cigar. That's a good environment for that cigar. So let's look at the inside of this. So as you can see, number one, look at how the door opens. I mean, it opens almost all the way around. It's complete open. It doesn't stop like most fridge will stop like here. This opens up completely, so you can actually pull out the trays. And I like to season my cedar wood, but this doesn't require that. Funny thing, anything that I've had in the past has always required that you season the cedar. Now, basically, seasoning is getting a sponge. You're basically dampening it with distilled water, and you're going to kind of just dampen the surface of the cedar, and then you're going to let it dry without putting any cigars in the box. Next day, you're going to repeat that process. I think they like you to do it about 3 times.
Yeah, and once you do about 3 times within the course of a day or two, you're good for basically for 2 months.
Yeah.
And the purpose of that is to activate humidity within the environment of where the cedar is located. So that's the reason why you dampen with distilled water, because like I said, cigars run on humidity. It needs optimal humidity. So if you have anything that's made out of cedar, you have to damp it with the distilled water to awaken the humidity to keep it preserved in that area.
Yeah. So here we have cedar tray, which actually comes out, which is good because you can season it if you want to, but it's recommended that you don't have it. So if it doesn't require it, don't do it.
I struggle the same way too. So don't worry, I struggle too.
Well, you know what? I'm like sideways on it. Now, here's a cool thing to this too. It's a nice little drawer, and it has a humidor meter on it too. So this is good. It's a hydrometer. In here, you see there's a little tray. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it out. There's a little tray in there, and that tray you can put distilled water in there. Or you could even put
what I read was the purpose of that little glass is to capture the condensation. Since, like I said, since this will be in a presence of humidity and stuff like that,
right. That's right.
It captures any condensation.
Okay.
But like I said, I could give that tip of what I have done with it. If you are either a beginner or intermediate, smoker of cigars, if you start experiencing, your cigars either getting dry or potentially dying. What I did with that little cup, I put like a quarter or probably a little bit less than a quarter of the way of distilled water. And since it's always in an optimal environment of like 70 degrees, it helped kind of evaporate that distilled water inside my my Audew humidor, and basically revived the majority of all my cigars. Like cigars went from being completely like dry, you felt
the difference,
the cracking. And then now, after that being there for almost a month now, it's tender, it's soft, you can feel like it's just basically just got made. Like if someone had just handmade it in front of my face.
Yeah. And then, you know what? For those of you who are beginners, again, you would probably think that that's a normal thing. Well, you have a cigar, it's kind of hard, or, the leaf is cracking a little bit. That is not a normal thing. Cigars should be a little soft to the touch. You should be able to smell them and really get that aroma from the cigar before you light it. And as you're smoking it, there's also a difference in taste as well, as opposed to having a dried out cigar. So this is basically one of the best things that you can get if you're going to get into the cigar game, because these things are not cheap. I mean, you can get cheap cigars that actually taste really good. I'm not knocking cheap cigars. Believe me, there are some cigars out there that are really good and maybe cost you $3 a stick.
Yeah.
You know, but I like some premium cigars, and I like my everyday cigars. This is more of a celebration type of cigar for me right now, because it is an expensive cigar. But those of you out there, you know me as Alex Honeydew List. I do a lot of construction work. I do remodels. I'm actually in the process of doing remodeling throughout my whole home, and I hope to share all of those experiences with you guys. Tips, how-tos, and what to not do is what I'm basically doing with you guys moving forward. But I do plan on doing cigar reviews, so leave a comment below if you want me to do more cigar reviews. I would definitely do that. Same thing with Ricky over here. You guys know as Sim Poppy Rick. Make sure you check him out, because gaming, this is the man. And any questions, guys, leave a comment below for me or for Sim Poppy, and we'll definitely get back to you guys as quick as we can. Any more questions about this Audew, you can definitely send us a message. Let me know. And cigars, I mean, if you're looking for something specific, if I can help you, just like in my DIY projects, if I can help you with something, hit me up. I'll also leave a link in the in the video,
the description.
I'm gonna leave a link in the description to my Instagram page and to my Twitter.
Definitely follow it.
Yeah. And the same for Mr. Sem Poppy here. We'll definitely put that inside of the description. So guys, it's been great hanging out with you guys. If you guys have any questions, make sure leave a comment below.
If there's any specific cigars you want us to smoke together, give us our reviews on it. Let us know as well in the comments as well. If there's any Connecticut's, any brand you want us to give it a try with a certain combination. If you know any good combinations, let us know as well. We'll definitely give it a try as well.
Yes, yeah. If there's something that you want to suggest to us, let us know, and we'll go get it and we'll review it. So this is Alex with the Honeydew List signing off, guys. Thanks for being a part of today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. And I enjoyed spending time with Ricky here. As you guys know, Sem Poppy Rick. Talk to you guys real soon.